Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Hayden with the Hill Pursuit Podcast. This is episode 84 of the Hill Pursuit Podcast, and I believe this is the first episode in 2024. So that comes with a few things. We talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions, if you have any, if you should have any, whether or not you do have any, and if you have them, maybe how you could restructure them so they might be something that instead of just a quick New Year's fix, it might turn into something that's more of a healthy behavior change or lifestyle habit that you could integrate more long term. So Ken and I definitely dive into that. Also, yes, this episode is with Ken from Progressive Strength. And Ken has some really cool news that's coming up very, very soon. So listen in and listen the whole way because we talk about some fun stuff related to that news. But again, yeah, this is our first episode of the new year. This is episode 84, which means we're closing in on 100 episodes, which is super, super exciting. And we're just very, very grateful and appreciative of all the listeners who follow along, who comment, who like, subscribe, all that stuff. So if that's you, thank you very much. We really, really appreciate it. If you are looking to follow along, you can find us on any of the social media platforms at Hill Pursuit. You can send me an email, hillpursuit@gmail.com. You can find access to this episode, all other episodes, recent blog posts, coaching information at our website, hillpursuit.com. All this stuff is going to be tagged in the show notes. So please just read through those if you'd like. You can also find all that stuff on a Linktree account or on any of our social platforms. So you'll find access to any and everything else if you find access to one of them. The rest of this show is a lot of fun. We talk about Lunk Alarms. We talk a little bit about why people might fail a New Year's resolution, why people might have success with New Year's resolutions. We talk about the effect that one single potato chip can have on your life. So if you're curious about what that handful of potato chips just did to your body, make sure you listen and you'll learn what one potato chip can do to your life, which is pretty fun. Ken had some cool insight into that. And that's pretty much it, honestly. So without further ado, this is episode 84 of the Hill Pursuit Podcast. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the show. What's up, man? How are we?
I'm doing good, dude. Doing good. Any day now. So,
Really?
yep.
That was my number one thing I was going to ask you. All right, tell us how it's going.
Good. I mean, Grace has been a champ the whole time, man. I mean, honestly, I think I've forgotten half the time that she's even pregnant. She just recently stopped lifting weights. I think she's about a week away now. So
What?
lifted weights. Yeah, lifted weights up until, I think maybe a few days ago. Still walking, still stretching, doing all that stuff, So she's doing good, man.
Dude, 1 week.
Yep. Well, give or take. I mean, her official due date is the 29th, but family history kind of leads us to believe that it'll probably be a little bit early. So
Dude,
yeah,
dude,
man.
that is
Gonna be a
wild.
girl dad, bro.
Yeah, that is so
Gonna be
wild.
joining the
I
party.
mean, I knew it was coming, obviously, but wow, for some reason I thought we had you had way more time. Wow, 1 week, dude. You're
Yeah.
in it, man. Are you ready? Like, is your nursery ready? Like, I guess you don't technically need a nursery just yet, right? But
Yeah.
you're ready.
Yeah.
You're just ready.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just one other, I guess you could say, hard thing, I think this might be a little bit harder than doing an Ironman, but we'll see.
Get out of here. Go lay down. The dog wants to be on the podcast.
Oh, you good? You good?
Oh,
But yeah, man. I'm gonna be a girl dad just like you, bro. So
yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Well, congratulations, and of course, tell Grace. good luck. You know, it's not super fun, but um, good luck.
Thank you.
Excited.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, give us some
Give me some words of wisdom here.
words of wisdom.
Yeah. I know I'm putting you on the
Yeah,
spot.
yeah. I mean, that's a battle, man. It's an absolute battle. You just got to do anything you can to help her feel comfortable. I don't know. That's the stereotype is the dad sits in basically like a lawn chair, and that's what you get to sleep in for 48 hours, or lay in and not even really sleep, just kind of rest in. But I don't know,
Uh,
man.
Fun fact for you. We're actually doing it at home.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you're
We went the whole midwife route. So
nice. Well, you're gonna have
yeah.
a leg up on my experience because I fit right into the stereotype at the hospital, like pretty much like a it's like a it's not a lawn chair, but it's like a basically a piece of wood that they tell you is like a recliner, and you get to lay on and sit on, and yeah, it doesn't matter what the dad sits on anyway. I'm kind of just joking, but yeah, dude, just make her as comfortable as you can, and I'm sure it'll go smoothly. I hope that it does. We'll be praying for you and sending some good vibes.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, we are definitely both excited, and I think she's kind of to the point now where she's just like, get this baby out of me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Rick. Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy. Well, we also
yeah.
haven't really I don't think we've had a podcast yet in 2024. So this is a Merry Christmas. This is a Happy New Year podcast. So if you're following along, I know it's the middle of January, right? We haven't in January, have we? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe yeah, I can't remember the date of the last one, but um, yeah. Anyways, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, even if we said it already. But yeah. So tell me about that. How was Christmas? How was New Year? What'd you do? Anything wild?
Well, dude, I mean, what is it? I think for like the past like 25, 30 years, Grace's family, they've been going to a place called Pismo Beach, which is about 3 hours south of where we are in the Bay Area. And they've been
Is
doing
that
that
what's on
for,
your
I mean, I think
sweatshirt? Is that what's on your sweatshirt right now? There it is.
like, yeah, Pismo
Beautiful.
Beach. Yeah, I didn't even actually mean to do that. But yeah, so long story short, her whole family, I mean, there's a million of them. They always go down to Pismo for like 2 or 3 days, like immediately after Christmas. But unfortunately, a lot of people end up getting sick. So we had to actually cancel the family trip because, well, Grace obviously being so close to, giving birth, we didn't really want to run the risk of her getting sick. We
Yeah.
had a couple of people get COVID. Some other people got some other stuff, but it was still a good time, man. It was a little bit more low key in comparison to most of the holidays that we've had, just because Grace's family is so big. But it was nice, man. It was cool. It was a nice, de-stressful time for me with work. I have a lot of clients out of town during that time. Some people go
Yeah.
back to India, China, all over the place. But one thing I was going to mention too, man, is in the private personal training like sector, you typically don't see like the big New Year's resolution or like push like you would see at like a, I don't know,
Yeah.
like a 24-hour fitness or like a Nautilus, just because like, I mean, people, how do I say this? It's a lot different to commit to something when you got to back it with your pocket, and obviously personal training is way more expensive than gyms. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to go off on a little rant here, but things were slow for me during the holiday, which was nice. And then literally it was like the second that I came back, it just hit the ground running again. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a question I had for you is I mean, we'll get to it whether or not you personally have New Year's resolutions, I guess, but um yeah, if you like saw that influx of people around the new year or a week into the new year of like joining or signing up for any services.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've had what is it? I've had in the past 3 weeks, I think I've had 7 people reach out to me.
nice.
Yeah, but unfortunately for me too, timing wise, there's no such thing as perfect timing when you have a kid.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
I was already overbooked, probably working a little bit too much. I mean, I'm at the gym now.
Yeah,
And then all these people came in and I'm just like, dude, I can't take any of you guys.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm basically just trying to refer them to other guys that I work with, or hopefully
yeah,
I'm actually going to try and hire my first person probably in the next couple
Nice.
months. Yeah,
Dude, nice.
things are on
Exciting.
things are on the up and up, bro. I mean, I
That's
told
good.
myself after the Ironman that I was going to start taking my business a little bit more seriously, and things are going good.
Dude, that's great. Congrats.
Thanks, man.
Nice. Yeah.
How about your holiday, bro?
Well, how was my holiday? Well, I'll just say this first. Let's circle back to this also
Yeah.
because I just exercise at the Y, like the YMCA. When I
Mm,
lift, like that's where I go. I don't like run, bike, or anything there. I swim there. That's why I have a Y membership. But
okay.
yeah, the New Year's resolutionists are out for sure at the YMCA. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
So we'll circle back to that. But yeah, my holiday, dude. I'll be completely honest. Awful. Horrible. Horrible. So bad. We had so I have like I love my job, right? Best job in the world. But yeah, higher education, you have like 4 weeks off over winter break. I think based on when my last final exam was, it was like a Wednesday, so it was like 4.5 weeks off. That's awesome, right? That sounds great on the surface level, but number one, I've always thought, and you were in college, I was in college. That's the college schedule. I've always thought that the winter break was too long, like two
Agreed.
weeks too
Yeah.
long. Like 2 week break, that's enough to refresh. Let's get back to it, right? But I guess when everybody's healthy, the extended break can be fun. But I give my last final exam in the fall semester, like the week of Christmas. We actually went pretty late, and like 2 days later, 3 days later, we had plans to travel for a family Christmas, and it just hit the fan. I forget who even started it. I think it might have been my oldest. My 4-year-old got sick. Then the 3-year-old, of course, got it because they're hanging out all day. And
Hmm.
then I got it. And then the baby got it. And then my wife got it. And then my younger kids recovered. And then I recovered. Then my wife recovered. And my baby, like, just didn't. And she was having, like, a rough time sleeping. And I remember hearing somewhere that this was, like, the worst flu season in, like, over a decade or something ridiculous. Like, dude, it
Mm.
knocked our house out, man. Like, we're still on the back end of it, and it's a month later. My all three of my kids had the flu. One of them had RSV, another one had an ear infection. Like, we were just, yeah, we were just like up against it. And so the break was literally the worst, the worst possible break I could have imagined. It wasn't a break at all when you're sick and trying to take care of sick kids. It's like it's nightmare fuel, dude. It's literally a nightmare when you're sick yourself trying to take care of sick kids. And one of them's a baby. Dude, it was awful, dude. And to make it worse, to make it worse, whoops, there you are. To make it worse, my dog got sick too, and my dog was sick for like 3 days, just crapping everywhere.
Did your dog social distance too?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't even know how to explain that one. I'm just like speechless when I think about my dog getting sick when all the rest of the house is sick. So we're like up in the middle of the night cleaning up dog stuff. We're up in the middle of the night with the baby. My 4 and 3-year-old, who are never up in the middle of the night, all of a sudden are up in the middle of the night crying and dude, sleep minimum. Uh, so I can't wait to get back to
School.
a schedule. Yeah, like this house is just like a house of horrors. It's like a disease nest. So yeah, the holidays weren't super great, but we eventually got healthy enough, like this past weekend, so just a couple days ago, um, to have one of our family Christmases. Like literally, that was the first family Christmas we had, and it was like, what's that? 3.5 weeks postponed.
Oh yeah.
Um, so we managed to do that, but then whatever, just other headaches with the travel and the sleep at a different house, whatever. But all stuff for you to look forward to with the youngster on the way, right? So, but anyways, I mean, everyone's healthy now, so we're excited about the new year. My oldest is entering her last called a semester, I guess,
Good, man.
preschool before she enters kindergarten. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're excited for that. But
Heck
um,
yeah, dude.
yeah, so back to the resolutionists because that is hilarious to me. What funny stuff do you see? I mean, you probably see less because you're like in control of what's happening, right? You're the coach, right? You're telling them what to do, like, but you have to see some stuff like that's just silliness, right? I mean, I'm seeing just like crazy stuff at the YMCA. Nobody, it's just like free range. Nobody's patrolling anybody. It's hysterical.
Well, I mean, at least with like my space too. I mean, I work in a private setting. I would show
Right.
you my gym right now, but there's nobody here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah, yeah,
the the atmosphere is a little bit different than you would obviously see like a 24. Like you're only gonna see trainers with their clients here. It's not like the other way around.
yeah.
If you see a trainer with their client and their client's doing something crazy, then obviously it's not their fault. It's the trainer's fault.
Sure.
Um, and I just need to say this too. I normally kind of I don't want to say make fun of, but I do kind of crap on New Year's resolutions a little bit just because it's like, why do you have to wait for a day?
Yeah,
I think it's more like I think and this is just me kind of looking over the whole thing. I think a lot of people just do New Year's resolutions after January 1st because it's a super convenient day after the holidays, you know. You feel good, you just got to hang out with the family, you probably overindulged in food and alcohol, and then now you're like trying to like reset yourself. Um, and once again, it's like, hey, you want to work out starting January 1st, that's awesome. But like, do realize that it's like, if you don't make the, what's the word here? If you don't make the habit changes or if you don't make like some type of long-term commitment, you're going to end up falling off like most people. I think I was actually reading a stat that, what is it, by like January 14th, I think it's somewhere between like 30 and 40% of people completely fall off their goals. It's like by the end of the month, I think it's like around like 60. And by like February 10th, I think it's like almost 90% of people that set New Year's resolution goals fail. So it's like, I mean, people talk about this stuff all the time, but it's like, would you go on an airplane, right? If you knew that there was a 10% chance that you were going to make it from point A to point B, you probably wouldn't do it, right? So it's like, it's people fall in the same like cycle of New Year's resolutions. And I wish people had a little bit more, like guidance, I guess you could
yeah,
say, going into whatever type of goal they're trying to set for themselves. Because I
yeah,
think they just see something online, man, and they try and follow some like, do these 10 tips and tricks to improve whatever realm of life you're trying to get better at. And then they realize quickly that those 10 steps actually have like 100 steps in them. They
yeah,
just forgot to mention the little things in between. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I haven't
Dude,
really seen anything too crazy though.
yeah, dude. The New Year's like marketing around gyms and fitness is just wild. It's wild. I can't even handle it, and especially like for places like the 24s and like the Planet Fitnesses and other stuff. Like they're not helping people. They're just racking up memberships right around the new year for pay the dollar amount of the day you join. Like you join January 2, $2 for January. You know what I mean? Like how many places do that? And I mean, I guess that's not the worst one in the world, but um dude, the marketing is just insane around New Year's. Insane.
Well, the only reason why Planet Fitness's doors even stay open isn't because of the people that go to the gym. It's because of the people that pay the $10 a month
Yeah, never go.
that yeah, that never go,
Yep.
that keep their membership going.
Yeah,
Because it's
they're
all like, no, all I was gonna say is just like, I mean, it's like a Netflix subscription, right? It's like you forget to not renew it, right? Or like you
yeah.
put it on whenever you sign up for that month for free. You forget that you signed up, you go like once or
Well,
twice,
dude,
and
I
then,
think it's dude, honestly, I've heard about their business model before. I think it's even different than that. I'm pretty sure they don't care if people know that they're paying $10 a month and don't go because
Mhm.
they've found something out that it's like $10 is just enough that if they hit 5,000 members, they're making whatever.
Hmm.
But it's also small enough that if 95% of people don't go, they won't care because it's only $10 a month.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And I'm not here to say that I know about Planet Fitness's business strategy. I just feel like I've heard something along those lines, but I don't know the percentages. I don't know the numbers, but I
I
think it's
mean,
something. I know their goal is just to have massive membership, and those facilities say they have 10,000 members. They can't hold 10,000 people in there. They can't.
no,
They can't even hold 1,000 people in there.
no. Well, I mean, in that, and then also it's like they also I don't know if they directly try to do this, but like they like indirectly make fun of like I'll use the word avid fitness
Yeah,
goers.
yeah,
Like they make fun of like obviously like very fit people, which I think is also hilarious. So I'm just like you're like demonizing the people that make it like an actual lifestyle,
yep,
and you're focusing more on like the demographic of people that are like, scared of gyms and like
yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
go in, and they have that stupid little lunk alarm thing. So
Yeah, okay, quick shout out to my buddy Brian Leak because Leak was rocking a Hill Pursuit run tee the other day, or run singlet, not the tee, and looking good, by the way. And he's doing this video as he's running on a treadmill, and I'm looking in the background. I'm like, is that purple? Like what was on the wall behind him? And then he like it wasn't even about him being at Planet Fitness, but he like panned somewhere with his phone while he's running, and I could see that he was in Planet Fitness, which is wild to me because if someone's gonna set off a lunk alarm, it's gonna be the Leak Master. I don't know if you know him or know of him, but he definitely would scream lunk alarm in a Planet Fitness rocking a singlet. So
yeah,
I wonder if that's happened. I would bet any money that it has.
I think we talked about him before on here, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
talked to him briefly on Instagram and stuff, but I follow him, and he seems like a
yeah.
very enthusiastic person.
Right. And if you care anything about exercise, you're getting lunk alarmed at the Planet Fitness, that's for sure. But
Yeah, I mean,
anyways,
it's okay.
enough about Planet Fitness. I know very little to nothing. So um back to resolutions. I'm the same way as you, dude. I have none, and I don't think I've made a resolution for like at least a handful of years since I've like trained more seriously, I guess.
Mm,
Um, I just like I see too many people and hear too many people say, "Oh, Monday I'm doing this, or I'm doing this for 30 days. I'm starting that on Monday or tomorrow, right?" And it's just that January 1st deadline is like Monday on steroids. You know what I mean? Like Monday is always like the day that you're starting something, and January 1st, it just like makes me sick sometimes that people, kind of like you said, the airplane analogy,
mm,
would get on if you knew there was only a 10% chance of that you're going to make it.
yeah,
Absolutely not. But so many people like,
no,
and they think like voicing this resolution is gonna like do the trick. And sure, you publicize something and maybe you get some accountability from some people who are close to you. But I think what's more important, and you kind of alluded to it, what's more important is just like talking to someone, getting some real help, and creating something that's like a lifelong positive change, not just waiting for the next fad or waiting for the next Monday or waiting for the next January 1, whatever it is. But
oh yeah,
um, yeah, don't and if you didn't set a resolution and you want to make a change, don't wait till Monday. Today's what? Today's Thursday. Just do it tomorrow or do it today.
yeah,
You still have time
yeah,
today. And if you did make a resolution, that's great. But make it something that's realistic that you can just include into your lifestyle just permanently. Why not? If you have smaller goals, like I think it makes sense to say, hey, by April, I want to be able to deadlift this weight, or I want my 5K time to be this. So, like that's different. That's great. Set
mm,
smaller goals, right? But make it something realistic. That's what I think is super important. Something realistic. Get some accountability. Share it with some people close to you for sure, and Leave it at that. But yeah, the whole New Year's resolution, like it has to be January 1, you're starting something, just a big marketing thing. And, it can be a lot. It can be a lot more than that. It can actually be something important in your life if you go about it the right way. That's all I have to
Oh,
say.
for sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll kind of plug something in here too, since I know this is obviously more of a health and wellness podcast, but what is it? It's 93 or 94% of people are successful when it comes to their journey on weight loss, but I think it's the same percentage of people that fail. So it's around, in case you're wondering, most people actually have had success in losing weight, whether it's following a diet or some type of exercise regime or whatever. But I think it's over 90% of people end up gaining the weight back. And some people, unfortunately, even end up gaining more. So,
Yeah.
like you already said too, with the
Insane.
whole setting realistic goals when it comes to anything around fitness. Take it slow, take it small. You're not going to undo bad habits that you've been doing for 20, 30 years in a couple months. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the main thing I would say with any of that stuff too, and I know most people say like write it down, do this, do that, whatever. It's just like for me, it's if I set some type of goal for myself, it's like if it's not the first thing that I think of when I wake up, then it's not going to be a priority. And if it's not a priority, then I'm always going to end up skipping something. Because I'm a human too, dude. It's like if I have little things that I procrastinate or don't want to do that day and I don't think about it or write it down, I'm not going to do it. And then a couple days turn into a week turns into a month, and then next thing you know, you didn't do anything, you know?
Yep.
So just
Yeah.
setting realistic goals for yourself and don't overreach. It's the main thing.
Yeah. I had something there along the lines of, man, I think it was probably weight loss. Yeah, this is what I had. So yeah, the weight loss one, that's a super popular one, right? New Year comes around, everybody's like, oh, 20 pounds, whatever, 10 pounds. I want to lose this, lose that. I think what's helpful there, so I'll just offer a little insight, is that weight loss is typically the weight loss that can happen is typically like coupled and paired with exercise and diet and nutrition, right?
Mhm.
So if there's some degree of exercise incorporated into that weight loss, there might not be, right? It might just be a nutrition thing or a dietary habit that's changing. That's fine too. But most often you're going to start incorporating some exercise if you have the goal to lose some weight. So what I would encourage people to do who create a goal or a resolution like that would be to, like, instead of the weight loss goal, make like a performance goal, and your body will just naturally like take shape around how you're going to best meet that performance goal. So
Mhm.
and that also I think is a little bit healthier for people in terms of how they look at themselves and look at a number on the scale. Look at your performance. Are you getting fitter? Are you getting faster? Are you getting stronger? Whatever the goal might be related to exercise, are you getting more consistent? Whatever it is, that's a healthier change. That's a healthy change. So the number doesn't necessarily and won't always necessarily reflect that healthy lifestyle change or the healthy improvement in run pace on a 5K, or the fact that you could only run a quarter mile before breathing heavy and now you've entered your first and completed a 5K, like something like that. So I'd say if you're listening now and you're someone who has the weight loss goal, that's great. Try to tag it to something related to exercise so that, like you just said, Ken, you can turn it into something that's on your mind every day, but in a
Mhm.
healthy way, not just, oh,
Yeah.
I need this number to go down by 10 units. You could say, hey, I want to get faster today, so I'm going to have a really good 30-minute workout, right? Or I want to get faster, or I want to start lifting weights, so I'm going to make it an effort to get to the gym today for 45 minutes. Like it's just a little bit of a healthier approach to a similar goal, but you're putting something that has more longevity to it, because that percentage that you just shared, the 95% success and 95% failure, that's freaking scary. I didn't know that, but I could have come to some sort of conclusion similar to that. That a lot of people, I would have just said a lot. I wouldn't have said 90 some percent. I would have said a lot of people put weight back on after losing a large amount of weight. But
Mhm.
that's a crazy number, dude. And I think that makes even more sense now that I'm saying it, is like, that's fine if that's a goal, but put some performance metric to it so that you have something positive to think about that might keep you continuously engaging in that healthy behavior, not just let me get this number as low as I possibly can, as fast as I can, because you know more than a lot of people that's not how it works in a healthy way, and it doesn't stay off when you do it like that either.
No, because as fast as you go down, you go just as fast back up.
Yeah.
And that's what
And
I
if
tell people all the time.
you
Like
do that a
even
lot,
like
then you screw up your metabolism permanently.
yep. And that's why I tell all my clients too, because like I mean, especially I mean, most if not all people that not all people, but a lot of people come in obviously to see a personal trainer because their main goal is to obviously lose weight. But like you brought up too, when it comes to like measuring metrics, like for somebody, I'll just say like for example, like a guy, if we can increase your let's say incline press, maybe like a front squat and something else, right? Let's worry about that for right now because guess what that means? If you're getting stronger, that may or may not mean that you're putting on muscle, right?
Yeah.
If you put on muscle, what's going to happen? Your metabolism is going to go up. That means the total of the amount of calories that you're going to burn at rest is going to go up, which means over time, you'll slowly start to lose weight, right? And make a positive body composition change. Because, I mean,
Absolutely.
here's the other thing too, man. I mean, I obviously can't give like anything specific when it comes to like a healthy versus a not healthy, like amount of weight to lose, like per week, for example, just because it's super individually based. But it's like, if you have like an average person that wants to lose 20, 30 pounds, and let's say the first couple of weeks they lose 3 pounds a week, I would actually tone back the amount of calories that they're losing, right? So the calorie deficit that they're in, you got to slow them down a little bit, reel them back in, because the problem is when people start seeing results like that, they want to keep pushing even further, right? Which the problem is the bigger hole you dig yourself, right? The harder it is to come back out. And that's why I said before, as easy as it is for people to lose weight, because everybody knows somebody that's lost weight, but
Yeah.
what happens? They gain it back, right? And you don't gain or lose 20 or 30 pounds over the course of a year without making like small compromises,
Yeah.
whether it's good compromises or bad, right? So it's like you either have to like maybe miss a couple of things or do whatever else when it comes to reaching your goal. That's like anything in life. And just going the opposite way, if you go to gain weight, right? You don't gain weight from eating crappy, like, whatever, once a month. You gain weight by, I think one of my clients actually brought this up to me. It was like if you ate your normal amount of calories, and then he was just like, if you eat like a potato chip every single day, if you count up the amount of calories from that one potato chip over the course of like X amount of years, you could actually gain like 10 pounds. So just
Golly.
being in something, just being in something is like simple as like a very small caloric like surplus over the course of a year, even if it's only 100 calories, multiply
Yeah.
that by 365,
Yeah.
it, it adds up, man,
It's a
So that's why
lot.
it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah. And that's why I tell all my clients too, especially when they first come in, move well before you move load. We're going to worry more on trying to move well and, obviously get into a little bit of resistance training. And then when it comes to losing weight, that's obviously comes down more to diet, unless you have an immense amount of time to train, which a lot of people obviously, who the heck has 14,
Yeah.
16 hours a week to train regularly? Not a lot of
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you can't outwork a bad diet. I know that gets thrown around a lot. But it's true. Like you can't eat like crap and then expect your numbers to reflect positively with anything, whether it's performance or on the scale.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is the I think I know the number, but I'll see what your perspective is. What is like the acceptable number of pounds, again, back to your average person example, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of individual variability, but the acceptable number of pounds that you can lose a week and expect to keep off if you're doing it in a healthy manner. Isn't it
I
like,
would say, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's like one or two, right? Like I don't think if you're losing 3 pounds a week, again, average person, average height, weight, BMI, maybe overweight, we'll say. We
Mm,
know obese people can lose larger amounts. Obviously, they have larger amounts to lose, but um, my best understanding is 1 to 2 pounds per week in a healthy deficit can stay off. What are your thoughts on that? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Like generally speaking, yeah. I mean, anything
Right.
more
Again, the
aggressive than that, I
general
think.
example.
Yeah, and the thing is though too is like obviously anytime you start any type of like exercise or like nutrition regime, you'll tend to lose a little bit more weight more quickly because it's obviously all new, your
Yeah,
body's not used to it. The other thing is though too is that when generally speaking people tend to eat healthier, they also tend to lose a significant amount of water weight because they might not be consuming as much sodium or processed carbohydrates, which are obviously
sure.
going to cause a little bit of water retention, especially when you talk about like female like athletes too. So yeah. So but yeah, so that's really just my opinion about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. One and two, somewhere in between there.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I feel weird talking about resolutions. I just know so many people
I know.
make resolutions that it was worth it was worth the discussion. But
No, I mean, I think it's true. I mean, it's just like, even people that are competitive over a victory or, some of the people that
yeah,
you work with Hill Pursuit too. Um, it's okay if you do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it
absolutely.
necessarily. It's just come up with a better plan than like a 5 bullet point like list on like a piece of paper. It's got to be a lot more detailed if you
Yeah,
actually want to be able to adhere to that and be successful.
correct. Right. All right. Like the goal is good, but make it something that has steps and a process that can integrate in a healthy way into your life. And again, for a long time, not just like you said, January to February, and then 90% of people just dump it. So yeah. It's good to have the goal, and it's okay if you made the resolution for January 1. Absolutely. Maybe restructure it so that it has, so for my advice, maybe restructure it so it has more of a performance metric associated with it, something measurable that you can, like, then back to what you said, wake up and it's on your mind and you have these behaviors that you can integrate, not just I love that you just said that, not just the fun little list, right? Because it's cool to write stuff
Hmm.
down, but have the behaviors that it's on your mind when you wake up. It affects how you eat your breakfast. It affects when you eat your breakfast. It affects how you eat around your training. It affects how you train. It affects if you train, like all this stuff. It should all relate to a healthy behavior or a behavior change or a new lifestyle habit that isn't just this fad, something you've never done, something that can be realistic in your life. I think that's really important for success of any goal, not just a New Year's resolution. But all right, I got
Yeah.
one other thing for you. Do you have any names for this baby?
I
any
do, yes. Yeah. We
that
actually picked
any that
out.
you can tell the world.
No, I cannot. Yeah. No,
uh,
yeah. We actually did before we even found out that we were pregnant. We actually did pick out a girl and a boy name.
nice.
So obviously I'm having a girl, and it's kind of funny because Grace's older brother David, he actually just had a son, right? Like I think it was maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he had no idea that we were actually going to use the name that he actually named his son.
Oh, no
So
way.
he named his son Mason, and that was the name that we were actually going to choose if we were going to have a boy. It was just
Wow.
really weird timing. But
Yeah.
no, I cannot tell anybody because
You'll get in
I
trouble.
don't. Well, no, I mean, I'm not afraid to admit this. I knew at the beginning that I was not supposed to tell people because, at the beginning of early stages of pregnancy, because, things can happen. And I obviously I got a little bit too excited and definitely told people, even though she told me not to. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that didn't go over too well. But yeah, man. So you'll find out soon, don't worry.
That's cool. Cool.
Yeah. But
All right. Well,
there's
yeah,
one other
yeah,
thing I wanted to say to you real quick. So in regards to the season of life that you have when it comes to following a habit. So like
yeah.
for me right now, obviously I'm gonna be having a baby here pretty soon. So I know that my time is going to be very limited. And the other thing that I realized as well is that obviously we're all sleep deprived when we have kids. So for me, I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to hit any strength goal PRs. I'm not going to be able to, get faster or in better shape. So for me, I was like, what goal could I choose, like fitness wise? Because obviously I am very, I'll use the word obsessed. So I was like, oh, well, guess what happened to me after that Ironman? My hips got super freaking tight because you guys that sit on bicycles all day don't realize what that does to your hips. So I'm trying to get my goal, not New Year's resolution, my goal for the next couple months after I have my baby is I want to become mobile, a little bit more flexible, that's the goal. So pick a goal that's
yoga, animal flow,
yeah,
Pilates, all kinds of fun stuff for you.
one of those things, yeah. If you want to see me struggle doing something physically, watch me try and stretch for 30 minutes. That's like watching like a 5'5" guy like me trying to play basketball,
Also throw in that you were a wrestler, and wrestlers notoriously are awful at basketball.
I'm pretty much I'm not just bad at basketball. I'm actually pretty bad at any sport that involves like a ball, because I didn't really grow up playing any ball sports. And when I did, I basically just remember my grandpa screaming at me because I was that dumb kid sitting in the outfield like picking crap,
I just put a note for our podcast notes. Ken bad at many sports.
Yes, because it was definitely true. I was really
the exact opposite in terms of athleticism.
Yeah, but I was only honestly good. I was really only like good at like two things, and neither one of them had to do with ball sports. So
oh, that's funny. All right, that's all I got. I think this was episode 84. So we're rolling. We're cruising right to 100, man. We're gonna get there soon. So yeah, if you've listened this whole time to our New Year's podcast, thanks. Check us out wherever you operate on the socials. All right, all of that's just at Hill Pursuit. Send an email, hillpursuit@gmail.com. Check out the website, hillpursuit.com. Ken, give a quick plug for your stuff.
Progressive Strength for Instagram and Facebook, and Progressive Strength Project 12@gmail.com.
Got it. Cool. That's all we got. We will see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.